Part 2.
Part 2 of the Christmas special. I love this graphic behind here. This is some beautiful.
Is that a YouTube thing too?
Yeah, this is all stock footage. I actually had no idea how to open the show because we, I kind of wanted to just jump right into it, but I felt we needed an intro.
Yeah.
So I was trying to locate with Nina like a shepherd's costume, so I could go out. I could go out to a field, and I was gonna read that other story that she wrote.
Yep.
But I just couldn't. So instead, little trivia. Our kid's name is gonna be named Gloria. I played the Gloria song there because we knew that she was coming.
It was a little bit of a noodle egg.
That's a noodle egg.
Yeah, it's a noodle egg. Easter noodle.
Easter noodle.
This also was shot, not this, of course. This was shot in Los Angeles in 2007.
Yeah.
But, and look at that flip phone.
Frankie looking very different.
Yeah.
A different human.
Same voice.
With a middle part.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. So
did we buy this roast on Black Friday as well?
Yeah, so this is also shot on Black
Yeah.
Friday. So like all these shopping segments were all done kind of at the same time.
Yeah, I think we were already getting the understanding that this was way too much shooting.
And that was another thing, by the way. So we shot like a really big Black Friday Junt's car on Black Friday because we went to a bunch of places. I needed to get it. I felt that I needed to get it up on Black Friday so that it was relevant to people.
Yeah.
So I edited it from when we got home, which was probably like, I don't know, noon probably.
Yeah, because we did it in the morning.
Until like 6 p.m. And I released the episode on Black Friday. Then the next morning, or maybe it was Sunday morning, we were here shooting all the
This
stuff.
is why I was feeling bad.
So
for
things were
Frankie.
getting so insane.
Yeah.
And, we also had a scavenger junt that was in the wings. There was just kinds of things going on. But eventually it all gets edited.
Yeah.
You just chop through all of it.
Just get it
Choppa
done.
choppa.
And as long as Nina doesn't get too mad at me for being, like, indisposed.
Yeah,
Being
it's
a
tough when
negligent
you have
Frankie.
a baby, though. I'm gonna tell you that much because you get indisposed whether you like it or not.
Yeah, so that's, I don't know what to tell you, folks. It might...
You might only get content on Sundays if you're lucky.
Yeah.
I think we're all getting parentized.
I look tired there. I look like, in the eyes. Look at that.
Oh yeah. You can already see the editing on your eye.
Like, stop editing. Is it safe to say that the roast segments ended up being sort of the most memorable thing?
It was the comedy height, for sure.
It was, that was my
Without
favorite.
question.
So, when we shot in LA and did the turkey thing, people liked it a lot. And I was starting to wonder, I was like, I wonder if this won't be funny at all. I wonder if this will sort of like not work out.
Yeah.
How do you make an iPhone overexposed?
Yeah, I don't even know. Well, you can.
I think it must have been locked on the shirt.
Yeah, if you can lock focus
Yeah, you can
or
tap it.
exposure.
Whatever. Who gives a crap?
If you hold the finger.
I
on
don't
the
give
phone.
two somethings. But this was actually when I will occasionally go back and watch this segment. Mostly for the roast on the counter part,
Yeah.
which is coming up shortly, which is one of my favorite pieces of content that we've ever produced as like a segment.
Yeah.
I'm glad I.
How's that
was
roast, Frankie?
That ignorant. Yeah.
Yes, it is laughing at your expense, but it was great content. Just
What
like
a-
the cookies were good content.
My eyes look. I look really tired. One of the. We had been up since midnight because we went out at midnight.
Did
Actually,
we?
no, we went out at 6 a.m.
6 a.m.
Yeah.
And this was late. This was like already a couple hours. This was the last thing we shot that day, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, so this made it extra confusing. Was like you were throwing in strange opinions.
Yes. I was originally going to say absolutely nothing and just let you flounder, but then I kind of backed in and out of that. I should have been a little more steadfast.
You didn't.
I like the Portuguese flag hanging there.
That's funny. That really shows you where we live.
Yes.
Hey.
Big old Portuguese flag.
Come over here to the Stop and Shop.
Come over here.
There's a bigger sale on Charisse.
Yeah.
Meat.
I never eat like beef like that.
Yeah, I don't either.
It's very rare.
Like a roast.
A beef roast.
It was also
I,
like for
I made a beef pot roast this year, like a beef corned beef, but that was it.
Yeah, if I was gonna make I would probably make like a beef tenderloin if I was gonna make something for holiday.
Oh yeah, people were confused about why we were in a second kitchen. They were like, "Does John have two kitchens?" It's like, no, we're over at the house because the cookies were in the oven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We never. This kitchen has appeared in other Red Cow content, though, way back.
That's for
on the
sure.
super fringes.
Yeah, if you go to the website, redcowentertainment.com,
Yeah.
and you go to media and then videos by year instead of videos by category,
Yeah.
and you go into the 2000, 2001.
Yeah. It was Frankie and Eddie's obligatory 18-minute segment.
There's
wasn't it?
that. There's the screen test
The
for
baked,
10 pounds.
Yeah.
the baked
There's,
donuts came out of that oven.
Yes.
there's the Sodom and Gomorrah.
Oh, yep.
That all has this
A
kitchen.
lot of stuff has this particular kitchen. So
And
this,
the kitchen table in this, where you review the desserts.
yes.
That was moved to Millette's house in 10 pounds.
I don't know how I managed to do that.
I don't know
and got
why,
away with it.
I don't know
too.
why we did it.
I don't know why. They had a table.
What do you mean get away? Like you would have gotten in trouble by your dad or something? Like,
Yeah,
don't take
like-
my table.
Yeah.
It was just for a day.
Yeah.
Came back. So who was shooting this?
I was.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's why it's like sort of still. Like totally fine. Why did you get a pay for it? Yeah, I do wish I had mic'd everybody though. That was my only thing because everybody ended up having a lot more commentary than I expected.
Because it went way worse than you expected.
So I should have put it in a pan immediately.
Yes.
I still don't really know. Like my instinct is to like when you buy something, you bring it home and you open it. And then
Unboxing meat.
I don't think I realized the extent to which. Yeah, this is when John had been hanging out in the other room. This is the moment. Yeah.
Why is the roast
And
on
I'm
the
just
counter?
I'm just very embarrassed and really trying to mask it. And everybody knows it. Oh, it's still making a mess. Don't put it in the trash, though, he tells me. That's not what you would have done.
Yes, it is because I don't want beef blood in my trash.
But, like, if you were making...
I can't not laugh.
Yeah, this is the best.
Sorry, Frank. I know it's.
It's fine.
I just love it. Oh God. Oh gosh. Okay. Now that I'm finished, like just enjoying the content,
Yeah, I know.
There's so much less... There's nothing to say.
there's not much to say. But it was like this. So you came up with the. Who came up with the idea to have you cook a roast?
I think it was you.
It was me.
Yeah. I think we did come up like together. Probably we're like, oh, we could try to, Frankie sucks at cooking again.
Yeah.
But I think you were like, I want to see you just make like a roast, Frankie. I doubt, it wasn't me, and it couldn't have been Nina because Nina wouldn't have recommended it. Is that us charging a battery on that wall?
Yes, it totally is. That's a Canon charger. I think it could be any charger.
Oh, because we would have used the 5D
Yeah.
because we didn't have like EJ's cameras.
Yeah, the 70.
Or, yeah, 70.
Oh yeah, they're laughing at me because I forgot that there's like a. Because I was opening a new one.
Yes. I didn't use the top.
But I was ultimately told that the seasoning worked out.
Yeah, the seasoning was good.
The same thing happened in 2007 when I kept touching my flip phone, and they were like, "Don't touch your phone after touching the meat." And I'm like, "God damn, this sucks! I can't touch my own phone."
I'm like washing my hands 1,000 times when I'm cooking. But that's what you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah. Well,
Don't want chicken hands everywhere.
I have a problem with washing my hands in general. Like I'm always washing my hands. So
Really?
like especially when I'm cooking, it's even worse.
Yeah, it's worse.
I'm just like, I could.
But realistically, if you kind of know what you're doing, you're probably not going back to your phone every 2 minutes. You probably don't have as much of that problem. You just kind of start off on your journey and
I mean-
go to the end.
not the correct things at this stage because it's already long happened. But you'd put all the spices on and then massage it and then wash your hands,
Right.
and you wouldn't need to like
Right. I think that became obvious to me after the fact.
Yeah, you got it. I mean, you're doing it right now with just the first one.
Yeah,
I'm touching the
you
phone
can
again.
you can structure your cook in a way that you're washing your hands minimally.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't enjoy washing my hands. I find it to be an obnoxious and mostly unnecessary thing.
Honestly, I find it if I do it too much, it dries out my hands terribly in the winter, and I
It's
really
a compulsion
don't like to.
for me.
No.
I'm a nurse, and I don't think you can do it enough.
Yeah, I'm always washing my hands.
I mean, well, but I'm washing my... Okay, so you wash your hands after you go to the bathroom, right? You do that theoretically to not get a cold, to not give others a cold. It never really happens, does it? Well, what are you really doing it for?
I think it's just a prime opportunity to wash
Do you
your
realize
hands
how
in
much
general.
more
Yeah.
often it might happen if you didn't?
I don't think it does. I think I've already tested that. One cold a year, no matter what.
Enjoy your conjunctivitis.
Oh, please. I didn't shit on my hands, as George Carlin says.
Frankie don't give two
More
shits.
stock footage because I was out of my own.
Fine, I'll just continue to wash my hands
You'll
obsessively,
be fine.
and
You'll be good.
you can not wash your hands. And
So just like you didn't know what to do with the roast, I didn't know what to do here, and
None
I
of
think
us.
that's what made that this
course.
whole segment.
I think pretty much none of us knew.
yeah.
What
This is
to do
definitely
there.
my favorite segment.
Yeah.
I mean, to start off with, I don't know that those are even the right kinds of wreaths to buy.
No,
Yeah.
they weren't actually,
weren't.
as it turned out.
Where did those come from?
Walmart.
Walmart.
They were way cheaper than the other ones, which is why I got them. Really, I should have bought foam inserts, and
Yeah.
we should have poked into foam rather than trying to do that.
This is actually my favorite segment.
No,
Yeah.
this is a very strong segment.
Why do you, what do you like about this segment so much, Frank?
Well, for one, I like that nobody's manning the camera like an asshole.
yeah,
And two, I feel like everybody is well featured, and there's like abundant amounts of like material to make content with.
yes,
Like you showed up ready to make wreaths, even if you didn't know what you were doing.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like you brought in
and
a
this was
ton-
nobody's wheelhouse. Like
Right.
nobody
Yeah.
knew.
yeah. Nobody really knows what they're doing. There's
And so-
no,
yeah, so
there's no
there-
leadership. Yeah,
But there is still some ego.
Yeah.
So
yes.
even though nobody knows what they're talking
Like
about.
Zach ended up with his silent, pretty good wreath. Zach silently made a perfectly fine wreath. Frankie tried to put all the effort in and came out with something that's all right.
I thought we liked it more than that. No, actually everybody made a good wreath.
Yeah, we ended up breaking poor Angry Kirby's. I felt a little bad.
His looked good, except
It was doomed
he
from the
stabbed
start.
it so many times that there was no structural
yeah,
integrity.
and if we have, I doubt we'll ever do this again. But if we did, I would. There were many things I would change.
I would love to do a Junt's card at La Salette.
Oh, that would be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun. La Salette is I haven't been up there in years. We should do some stuff like
This is
that.
my favorite Renaissance painting, the making of the wreaths.
Oh yeah, another thing was that normally the up high wide is our 1080 camera, and
Yeah.
normally the sort of dead on is our 4K. In this case, it's flipped, so I was actually able to punch in on the wide on stuff.
That's kind of
so-
nice.
yeah.
Do you think if you had 4K in the wide in general, you'd punch in on it in BoxMac?
Probably not in BoxMac because it's more the top of our heads.
Yeah.
But this is like more our like you could get a better
This
composition
is just above the eye line. Yeah.
of us too. Yeah. So Nina does occasionally get up to like pick stuff up, but in general, she was just sort of listening to audio. It probably would have been a very different segment if she had participated because
It would have been.
theoretically she's more crafty than us.
Yeah, Nina, how do you think it would have come out? I mean, do you have any wreath making experience?
I have very minimal, but more than you guys, wreath making experience. I knew those were the wrong forms, for example.
Yeah. Nina has about 30% more knowledge than any of
I mean,
us.
I was pretty sure they weren't the right form, but I
Yeah.
was just gonna. I made the best of it.
Keep moving. Keep moving.
These were the tools I was given. I was told to make a wreath. I did what I could to
And
make
they were
a
all
wreath.
good. They all held up. I actually had them out there all winter, all through Christmas. I kept them into January, and then they were still looking pretty good when I threw them away. So
As a famous children's film once said, just keep swimming. Yeah, I also think there is something probably funnier about watching 4 man children try to try to do this. I mean, you were perfectly competent, I guess, Zach. I guess.
It goes.
Nina and I quote this to this day because there's a.
I feel like I was composed at least.
Yes.
Not me.
You had a plan and strategy.
Although I did. I tried here.
Like I said, they all came out fine.
I can wing things pretty good usually.
Yeah.
Nina and I quote this to this day because there's a moment where Zach's looking for these decorative pins, and he goes, "No, I want the other pins."
Because off camera there had been discussion about them being labeled decorative pins and that they weren't for other uses, but it wasn't on.
It didn't
film.
make it on camera.
So then when Zach kind of references it later, it just is hilarious.
I mean, it does anyway. I don't know if anybody else does. It was fun to play with shears and snippers.
Yeah. I
don't know.
As usual, I had way too much crap.
The entire special is about being over-resourced.
I don't know if I ever brought it up, but so I had to buy some pine boughs for this, and they were really expensive,
this,
and I
yes.
was so
I like
pissed
this shot.
to have to pay for them.
Yeah, that's pushing in on 1080 too, but it looks fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, I push it on 1080 all the time.
You do it, don't you?
I do, but
Yeah.
I don't care.
No, I think it looks fine. So yeah, this was definitely all before anything with the roast.
Yeah.
There was a sort of a moment when it was like, I don't think there's any way to not make a complete disastrous mess
Yeah.
out of this room.
Yeah, and it was. I continue to find debris from this day.
You do, really?
Yeah. It was kind of an unrecoverable mess. Like, you can never.
System is unrecoverable.
Yeah, you,
It is.
you
It's
can't
unrecoverable.
really ever get away from a mess this bad. I mean, it's fine, but
Little Lodge. And we learned about the holly berries.
yep.
So these all came from the garden?
Yeah. So the holly did, and those red berries did, and then I undid that one wreath, and then I had also bought the pine cones from Michael's, and some pine swag from Klein Greenhouse.
I regret not shooting you bringing some of it in.
Yeah, my father actually cut it the night before and set it out on the porch, and then I dragged it inside. Because he had wanted to trim some of those plants anyway, and so I asked him to keep the trimmings. Yeah, it's a great gag.
I wonder, like, when you ever overportion things,
Yeah.
which is sort of
All the time.
right. Do you start out innocently, or you're like, well, this is reasonable,
Yeah.
and then you realize halfway through you're like, why did I overdo it?
Yeah. It's actually extends to most every area of my life.
You just overestimate things.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably why I'm so fat. Because I start off, oh, this will be a nice, reasonable dinner.
Right.
And then suddenly...
Are you just trying to be like conservative? Like I want to make sure there's enough.
Yes, there must be something ingrained about having enough versus too much. Like
My dad does the same thing.
making two
happened
things
for
of cookies
Easter this
instead of
year.
one.
Where you made way too much food.
Yeah, like he bought way too much food for Easter. Like because like my sister and her kids didn't come over this year.
It must
So,
be like a
like-
fear of not having enough. Like,
Yeah, well,
but
that
how
was the
bad would it
thing,
really
like,
be if
instead
there
of
wasn't
like a
enough?
huge bunch of people? We only had like the three of us, and so like, but he still bought a 4-pound ham,
Yeah.
and it was like, oh, okay.
But like, would it be so bad if there wasn't enough?
I mean, why would it be?
I don't.
It wouldn't be, and I got to learn that. It's a
There's somebody I work with. She is like the admin assistant, and she plans for anytime we have like food events.
yeah.
And she's always but I manage the budget.
Yeah.
So I'm often like, I don't know, buy enough for like one for each person. And then like if somebody has two and someone goes without, like I don't really care.
Yeah.
And because it's unlikely or it'll probably just shake itself out and we'll just
Yeah.
have enough. And she's like, no, like we got to have like a lot for everyone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've seen you so many times have to throw out so much stuff
Yep.
because of that
See,
kind of mentality.
That's like my problem with food. Like if the food's not like when there's too much food having been made, I know that food is there.
Yes.
And you're
Whereas if there's there's far less food, it's like, well, I've
That's the
eaten my
food there is.
portion.
like,
I'm
we're all
done.
out. We're all out. Yeah.
and I'm out. my brain but when my brain knows there's extra food there, it's like, hey,
Yeah.
you want to eat a little more?
You don't want to waste it.
Maybe.
It's going to go bad.
It'd be silly to refrigerate that last pork chop. You might as well just eat it now.
Now, you see Angry Kirby going, yeah, that's right. He does that a lot. And I think he's like on the defensive. Like a Frankie making a roast.
Yes, like a Frankie making a roast, he's on the defensive.
No, but he is kind of like wanting to prove something.
Yes.
I actually think it was coming along pretty good.
For being knit against a metal frame, it wasn't that bad.
When I was a kid, my dad made wreaths. Like, I think it was like a family project, come to think of it.
Yeah,
I
I
was
think
like-
that this has origin somewhere in my childhood, and I don't think we made wreaths, but my mother did, I think, and we were kind of just around. So
Right. Classic. Man. There's a wonderful episode of How Are We?
yeah,
Where we broke down a lot of Home Alone.
yeah,
And with clips to make our points and the whole thing.
yep.
You should check it out.
The library.
Presumably he said that before the movie started.
Yeah.
It's a long segment, but I don't care. Bum doo 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 bum bum.
We made the same reference, or did you know? Did you know, Frankie?
I knew I at least cut the clip in.
I should get this movie and put it on my Plex.
That looks rotoscoped. Not that, but the last.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Yeah, the animation's kind of rough.
I'm thinking very hard there, if you can notice.
What were you thinking of?
I remember
I'm very much contemplating what I need next.
Oh wow.
you were a little annoyed because we ran out of the material you were using.
Yes.
And you were seriously a little annoyed about
Yeah,
it.
because I wanted to make a better
Somebody should have
wreath than I
reminded him
did.
that John bought the wrong forms anyway. And
Nobody mentioned it during the whole thing.
I was gonna make the best damn wreath I could with the materials provided to me.
that's what makes you you. You come in with 110%. You're like a motivational football player.
No one can give more than 100%.
Yeah,
By definition, that is the most one can give.
110%.
The mess was only medium sized at
It's
this
not your
point.
fault. You did a good job.
I quite like the pine cones.
Yeah, they were on clearance too. Let me
It's-
tell you,
Do you remember how good it smelled?
it smelled really nice.
Yeah.
Michael's, I went into Michael's, I was going to try to get like whatever live stuff I could. Michael's had nothing live, but they had incredible deals on fake stuff. So if we want to make fake wreaths, that's the place to get all your crap.
Maybe we do fake wreaths next time.
That'd be kind of not as fun.
That's fun. Let's make a less fun segment.
Go me.
I think you guys need to put together a gingerbread house next year.
Oh, that's a great idea, Nina.
Nina with the
A
ideas.
Victorian gingerbread house concern.
Oh, we did very nearly. We were looking for a Father Christmas outfit for you
Yep.
because I do want to dress you up like a traditional Father
We're gonna
Christmas.
pay like $800 for that outfit.
I don't want to do that, but I will. I would more than happily dress you up in a costume.
Yeah, if you can find one,
Come on, how
I'll
great would
wear
that
it.
be?
I'll wear it.
And I could dress up like an elf, I
Mrs.
guess.
Krampus.
Yeah, the Krampus,
Little Krampus.
Mrs. Krampus.
Mrs. Krampus. Krampus and Mrs. Krampus.
Yeah, he's real proud. But look at the back of it; it's got no structural integrity.
Yeah, it's falling apart and it's already leaking lots of hay.
Yeah, because there was like that plastic binding
Yeah.
held together, but he
And
cut
and
it.
He cut it.
I'm not sure why he did that.
I think it happened as a result of him trying to cut open the outer plastic.
Yeah. And once it started to go, it was.
Zach's probably does deserve the top prize, I would say. Wouldn't you? It's the one that has a good mix of structural integrity, design choice,
Yes. Zach's wreath was the most prominently displayed.
I'm still like my head is so focused on making the damn wreath.
You care so much.
Gosh darn it! I was gonna make a damn wreath.
I definitely did not care as much.
I like Frankie's wreath. It's nice.
Thank you, EJ. Finally.
Yeah, I hung Zach's right outside the door prominently, and then the rest of them were just kind of distributed about.
Oh wow! I just saw it in Angry Kirby's face in the last shot. Him realize the joke he's gonna make in a minute. Yeah, this joke. He had thought that joke up a minute ago. Like, go back to that shot. It's crystal clear. Because he's imagining himself saying it. And you can see it, like, affected in his face. When we're done here, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's cute.
Happy
That's very
holidays. And then rip it apart.
And that's where the mess.
There's
That's me
the
like,
mess.
oh my god.
I like this. The
I'm disappointed, John.
I like this fast motion cleaner. This is one of my favorite parts.
Mostly me on my phone.
But we didn't actually get to the real cleaning.
Hey,
Oh, it's
this
me.
is your chance to commentate.
Yes, I was filming this like right before my kid was born. That's why I wasn't there because I was on watch. Oh, my beard is very full for Christmas.
it's glistening though.
Oh, my baby's so small there. So I actually did have a cold. So the hot toddy was both for that function.
Does hot toddy actually help with sickness?
Actually, scientifically, yes, because the whiskey like breaks through the like mucus. I think I'm just making shit up, but it does. It is supposed to help. And then the lemon and the honey get to your the throat parts. And
They're both antibacterial. Honey and lemon are antiseptic as well. And then I think it breaks up congestion.
yeah, so it's a great drink. I have it whenever. I recommend it anyway. Even if you don't drink, I recommend it for curing what ails you. As I
Curing what ails you.
I remember I showed my parents these specials, and like, I don't think they had ever seen an EJ review before. So they knew of you, but they had never seen the show. And they were like real into this. My dad was like, "That guy could sell you anything." I'm like, "What?" They were, and my mom was like laughing during it in ways she doesn't laugh when
Your mom is not
other
known for
content, she's
raucous
just stoic.
laughter.
Specifically when he goes, "I know why you're here, ooey gooey food porn." She was like,
So weird.
it was so strange.
I wanted to do this recipe for a while, and I think I wanted to do it with John at some point, but it just never came up.
Yeah.
And and so I figured I was gonna just do it for the holiday special, phone it in, and send it over.
I love it.
And I did do editing in the hospital waiting for my son to be born.
It's kind of cool. It's like you get this cool snapshot of that time. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is like the live portions I filmed before my baby was born, and like all this stuff is filmed before, and then edited during and after he was born. Which is, it's kind of funny because you guys talk about talking authoritatively. And,
Right, like the
we
segment before.
the segment before, so there were some like serendipitous jokes.
We're all making the same jokes, yeah.
Yeah. This mac and cheese is good. I think I probably would add a little bit more tiger sauce to it, and maybe even some onion. I think it was
Yeah.
missing some onion.
Do you think your Instant Pot was better than like the 3-ingredient mac?
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, absolutely. I would. They're kind of similar in a way because they like after some time it does start to congeal, but I think all mac does that. But
Yeah, well, mac's not really. You're supposed to eat it when it's ready.
when it's right and hot.
No, you're supposed to put it in the oven and bake it to death.
But you can see it's kind of similar to that.
Yeah, it
ingredient
is actually similar to
because it's got the evaporated milk.
Yep. And the cheese.
Well, that definitely helps.
Yeah,
Putting some cheese on top there.
yeah.
And you shot this at home.
Yeah, this is my bedroom.
It's nice to have a white wall like that you
Yeah,
can-
Yeah.
And sometimes white walls look like crap, and this doesn't.
Yeah, you've got it really nicely lit.
yeah. I've got like a tiny like eye can light like the ones you have, but it's tinier.
Yep.
It works out just for me.
Yep.
That
And,
looks pretty good, EJ.
Well, yeah, it's always fun to mix it up and actually,
I'd like some of
get
that.
some nice shots.
Haven't you had enough Mac today?
I know.
Aren't you all blocked up?
Yeah.
So we just make that joke.
Yep.
I don't want it to suck. Now we're just kind of talking through the intro.
I mean, is anybody... whatever. We've talked about it on the show a thousand times.
What?
I'm just like who prefers... Like, today we shot an episode that's not on this Blu-ray. The home style Cracker Barrel episode.
Yeah.
And like pre-breadcrumbs and post-breadcrumbs is just a world of difference.
Just don't do it.
And I'm just wondering who genuinely prefers it with breadcrumbs. Yeah. Oh, look at the baby.
That baby is so good.
Oh, so funny about How's That Roast, Frankie? Obviously, that's referencing How's That Mac, Frankie?
Yeah.
But that episode wouldn't air until after this. And so it's really just for us.
It's a back reference.
And now you all get it.
Yeah.
But you probably got it already if you watched that episode since, blah, blah, blah. So, what are Zach and John doing right now? They're making cookies.
Yes.
While
We're
I'm-
trying to get cookies out of here so we can start doing the roast is done.
This is very condensed, but when I put that meat thermometer in, I waited like probably 4 or 5 minutes for it to finally be the temperature it was supposed to be.
I don't know if we ever actually called you out on it, but that black thing under the roast
Not good?
does not belong there.
What the hell is it?
You called him out in real life. I don't know if it ended up on the show.
I don't think it didn't end up on the show. What it is? It's a
absorbs the
liquid
blood,
absorber
yeah.
underneath, and you're supposed to take it out before you bake.
Oh,
But it's okay.
look at this.
It's just for your own reference if you ever need to make another roast.
Bouncy.
Hey, well.
I remember it tasting really good.
The roast was delicious. We actually should have cooked it less.
And but the temp was spot on.
Yeah.
It was like exactly where you wanted it to be. Probably just by complete luck.
Yes, it really worked out because you checked it. We thought it would need like another 30 or 40 minutes, I think. Because we were going to have it to be done
Look how many
with the Mac.
You see a lot more cookies back there than you do in the first episode.
Yeah.
Because you kept bringing them more.
I had to get him out of here. And I just kind of
Yeah, he was
sadly
just like
did them in the
cutting
kitchen.
cookies,
Yeah,
baking cookies, and I was haphazardly decorating them.
Yeah, we were just trying to get
some
through it.
stuff.
And I was trying to like get my energy up a little bit for the home style.
My thought was just like, why bother doing anything that's not content related? Like, you
Yeah.
guys are doing this off camera.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. And I was like, I got to get through it, Frankie. I got to get through it.
I'm trying to save a little face here. I think
You
it's
did great. You did great.
delicious.
No, it was a good roast.
I was probably a little salty because of the cookies.
And the do you remember eating the mac, the meat on the side of the mac?
Yeah.
We didn't like cut it up and put it in the mac, of course.
No.
I think we just ate it separate.
Yeah, it was just kind
And
of
it
on
was
the
good.
side. Yeah.
And it's great for constipation.
Yes.
Time for mac.
Angelic host proclaim. Lord is born in
Well, stop
Bethlehem.
That's our same configuration from 2015. Nina in the back.
Nina had recovered fully by this time, or 60%.
Enough.
60%.
Well, because she needed to be on this one. So
Yes.
she's like, well, as long as I can just sit. And you may find yourself. You ever see Kermit the Frog do that?
Yes.
That's great.
And you may find yourself living in a shotgun shack as the days go by. Yeah, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
And but man, this Mac. I mean, I know we talk about it in the.
Let me just say, it is the best.
I was
thing
just
I've ever
thinking
cooked.
about it again because
Because it's on display.
It came out pretty incredible.
EJ, you remember his Mac from 2015?
Yes.
This probably was 15% better.
yeah.
I want it, and I didn't get it. And that's probably probably the greatest sadness in my life.
It was like it had this tang to it that was just quite unlike anything I had ever had.
Yeah, it had one of the things that made it so amazing is that it had so much suspended fat in it. And I know that sounds gross, Nina, but so it was made with cream and like a ton of heavy cream and butter.
Yeah.
And to not have either of those break and separate into oil, plus the egg, which also made it
The tempered
extra,
egg, yeah.
the tempered egg, it was so rich. I mean, it was
was.
incomprehensibly rich.
Yes. I couldn't comprehend it while I ate it.
Yeah, it was. I had only a couple times in my life tasted things that were quite so quite so much feel in the mouth.
I remember you were saying you're like, this is restaurant quality. I'm like, dude, I think it's a lot better than restaurant quality. Like, I go to a lot of restaurants and have a lot of mac, and they often are a big
It
disappointment.
sounds like it was like real French cooking at that point.
Yeah, it was.
High quality French.
Suspended fat French cooking.
That's basically what French cooking is.
You could have served a small dish in a at least 1-star Michelin restaurant, and it wouldn't have been out of place, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. All that suspended fat really went a
Oh,
long
there's
way.
no breadcrumbs on it? Take it back.
Yeah, take it away.
away.
Please shit it up with breadcrumbs.
Shit it up with some breadcrumbs.
Bake it to hell.
Yeah.
Make it to hell. Get the flavors down just.
The pasta was an excellent choice.
Yeah, so that was kind of. I really wanted a pasta that was an artisan pasta, just for the different taste. And all I could find was this one. It wasn't the shape
What
I
the
was
heck am
super
I
happy
doing
with.
there? I must be reading.
You're reading the cabbage.
Why the hell am I reading the
Thinking about the wreath.
You're thinking about going back to the wreath?
You're gonna start putting holly in that
I
shit.
bet there's more time.
Like, I'm just like,
This is always like, to me, this is like, even if we stop doing this show, like, I want to make a home style every year.
The thing is, it can't get better than it was last year.
That's
so I'm
fine.
gonna have to switch to something else.
Yeah, maybe a new,
Just keep doing different shapes of pasta.
or maybe a new concept.
Yeah, I need a new concept because that's as good as I can get that. That's it.
Somebody at my work who's a fan, a student actually, followed this recipe and I don't think it came out for them as good as it did for us because they liked it, but they thought it was like too much cheese or something.
Yeah.
Well, no.
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean,
I thought it was a stroke of brilliance to use cheese on top as your way of sealing in the moisture.
yeah.
Like, why not just add more cheese?
Yeah, that's exactly what you
Well, the
want.
concern that you could have that I think you guys didn't put too much is you could get that oil separation. And
Yeah.
you could get an oily top
Right.
of cheese.
The other thing that can happen with really complicated sauces like that is they can become gritty, and it didn't in this case. And I think that was just some Christmas magic.
Yeah.
But I think that there's certainly other avenues to explore. Like I was actually really happy we later did the gnocchi mac with Ashley.
You know, at this point, between the mix-ins, the home styles, Ashley's, we actually have quite a few recipes on our recipe site.
Yeah.
If you go to redcowentertainment.com/recipes, and you can try, if there was a mac that we ever cooked across the shows that looked good to you.
Yeah.
Like for instance, like EJ's mac in the 4th of July last
Yeah,
year.
that's rare. That's all that stuff's there. Right?
Or Keats, or it's all there.
I think I have to put in my marinara sauce on there. I think I
Oh yeah.
have neglected to do that.
What about your ribs? That's not really a recipe. Is
Yeah,
it?
it's not really a recipe. A lot of stuff I might have gotten from websites, so I'm not really.
Yeah.
It would be a link more than anything, but but my marinara sauce is one that I could probably put up there.
It was fun to consult last year's recipe because
Yeah.
you had pretty much forgotten about it.
Yeah, I totally had. It was really nice to have it just right there.
It's good to have a database of every single thing that you ever done.
Yeah.
In some ways, the website is more of an internal tool than an external one.
Serving as internal customers.
it is self-serving, but it's good.
Yeah, we just sort
I
of
honestly believe that, like, preparing that mac with one person would be difficult.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think the
It's a lot
fact
of
that we
work.
had everybody there
Yeah.
really is what kept, because I was constantly stirring that sauce
Right.
so it would not break.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a good point.
It would be, and there was other stuff to be done.
Yeah.
You had to have someone constantly stirring it. And in a real kitchen, you would have a sous chef sitting there just stirring that sauce.
Sure.
You know?
And also, you had the love and friendship.
It's true.
Sure. Love and friendship.
Well, look, like every time Christmas rolls around, like there are definitely things you have to do every Christmas that you don't necessarily want to do.
Yeah.
There's like this year we did some family stuff that was not fun. And it was Christmas Day and Eve that we had to do it. So, but I still love Christmas.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking for like these really awesome moments during Christmas time. And this year and last year, this was it for me.
Yeah,
And your party,
I
too.
love making the home styles with you guys.
Yeah.
It's been great.
We got to keep doing it, even
Yeah.
if it's new concepts.
Yeah.
It's good shit. You can see that I keep rolling my foot because my feet are just starting to kill me.
Yeah, this was the second to last thing we did
I
completely.
mean, this had to be 8 o'clock at night by now.
Yeah, it
and
was
we had
late.
started real early, so
It was a long day.
another long day. And then I was like, shooting is just the beginning. I got the amount of editing that I have to do here.
Oh, and I used that really
Yeah, the
good
Kerrygold.
Kerrygold.
This is the ooey gooey food.
I wonder
for-
if I put that. I must have put that on the ingredients list.
What you got to do is just not eat for a week and then make this thing.
Well, the one thing that I have realized, and I haven't really talked about this on the show, so it's exclusive to this commentary, is that there's a huge difference in different butters. Well, someday we should do a show about it.
Oh, that's
and
interesting.
talking through like how much the butter you choose, even off like just the shelf, affects the butter.
I like the butter spill song.
I think, I think we should do that and like make some ghee too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was talk of us doing that. Of like, what happens if you prep Mac with this control
Yeah.
and with that control?
With the Kerrygold.
There's like there's more things we could do like that.
Yeah. Or sour cream.
This is why, like, when we talk about like, hey, when does BoxMac end? I'm like, it could go on forever.
And yet, every week we see, every few weeks we see new Macs on the market. Like we just did that Cracker Barrel one.
It's hard to imagine being completely caught up with all the things we want to do.
Yeah.
We'll definitely make it to 100. Because
Yeah.
at this point we're at
Easy.
Yeah,
Easy.
Yeah.
We could like roll into 100 so easy.
you're right.
We're probably already at 100 if somebody's watching this. Actually, this is shipping out.
At this point, Nina and I are being useless.
Nina got put in charge of onions,
There-
and that was the extent of her job.
There was only so much space up at the stove, and Zach had really taken control as like the sous chef.
I'm amazed that we consistently managed to fit that many people into this kitchen, which is clearly designed for at most a half Junt.
Yeah, and not everybody is rail thin. So
I mean, there's definitely no bi-directional transport, and I have to stay from there down in the kitchen.
I think I actually look thinner on camera here than I actually am.
The fisheye kind of does that. It like makes the space look bigger too. And
Yeah.
people who have never been to this kitchen, I know fans sometimes come in and they're amazed
goes
that
that
we
egg.
can squeeze the show into that little kitchen.
the hardest thing is definitely shooting like narrative segments in it.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
that's
damn,
definitely.
like what the hell are we supposed to do here?
Oh, I'd really like to get a gas stove.
I love gas stoves.
That would be a lot of work.
So you can evenly heat stuff.
Yeah,
I-
it's
yeah,
a
I-
lot better.
I spent most of my life without a gas stove, and then like I moved into an apartment with a gas stove, and I can't go back. It's so good.
I think we just got very lucky on this sauce, but it would have been so much easier to control with a gas stove.
Just fire is good.
Yeah.
It's good at cooking.
I was gonna say, like, well, you did manage something this tasty on an electric stove.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
But I also know this stove pretty well now.
I just lapsed into some Home Alone quotes.
Yes, you did. Just started spewing them while I'm trying to, I don't know what I'm doing.
I think it's because. Was it because I had kind of taken over?
I don't think I was commenting on that. I think I just wanted to quote Home Alone.
I think there was a reason that you ended up.
I think you
Making
might have
that
said something that
quote.
reminded me of the quote and as a free associative thing.
Yeah.
You were like, because I
Your brain
remember you
was
saying
turning
like,
off.
you weren't needed or something, and I like patronizingly said, "Oh, well, you have the important job of like stirring the noodles or something."
Yeah.
It probably got kind of
Whatever
like,
gets
cut
me to
out
Home
and
Alone
lost.
quickest. I'll take it. There it is.
Oh,
I
baby.
Gotta be me. I've gotta be me.
Oh man. It's super good.
Like fuck it.
It was so good.
Ew. That's madness. Let's put more makeup on this hot chick. Clock wipe.
I like that clock.
I love
actually.
wipes. All sorts of wipes.
Clock wipe tells you the time has passed.
Oh, it looked so beautiful.
Oh.
Oh, sex. Yeah, that was the way to go.
Yeah,
If
creates
you
that
must bake-
seal.
If you must bake it, which you kind of have to because it doesn't. The fact is, if we
The-
eaten
yeah,
it
it'd
prior
lose
to
the
baking,
heat.
it would have, or it would have been unevenly heated. Look
Yeah.
at all these 1080 clips.
Beautiful,
Oh,
actually.
beautiful.
Oh, it's so good. I could eat it right now.
I'm making a big bowl there. Obviously, confident that it's going to be just fine.
No food for Nina.
Yeah. Can we stop by the raisin factory and get some?
The raisin
Somebody scratch. Oh, okay.
That was me scratching my.
I was like, there's scratching going on.
It was. I'll say the only critique I have is that it was so good that like you actually couldn't eat too much.
No, it was so rich that
Yeah.
you had a small portion. That was it.
Right. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
It was nonstop.
Hi, baby.
Look at that young man.
Look at that baby.
He's a good man.
I've seen pictures of him since, and he looks. I even got to meet him once.
Looks like a quality baby.
He is a quality
A
baby.
QB.
He's got massive eyes.
Mega eyes.
He's got a
He'll grow into him.
massive family eyes.
That's what humans do. They grow into their eyes.
Yeah,
That's
his,
right.
his eye is as big as his nose. It's very strange.
I haven't made a wreath ever.
Even now.
It's from Rocky 5.
Oh,
My God, it's a little much.
Tommy the Machine
Oh,
Gun.
this was really fun to go watch again, wasn't it? I
That
really
was
enjoyed
good.
it.
Now the music that's playing is not the BoxMac theme. That is your Christmas medley that you wrote for Abo.
Holy cow!
wow.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a real
Wow.
cow fact.
Pulling it out of the media database.
You know
there,
the one.
Media
Bow,
archiving.
bow,
Man,
bow,
so many
bow.
people worked on this special.
wow.
Yeah, I mean there was.
Look at all these people that.
EJ and Zach and Andrew and EJ and Zach and
Nina,
Andrew and
Frankie.
EJ and Zach.
Frankie.
EJ and Andrew and Zach.
Nina,
John.
Andrew and EJ and Zach and
Andrew.
John and EJ and Andrew and Nina and Zach and
Zach.
And look, you can look at
EJ.
stills from the episode and be nostalgic about the thing you just watched.
Yeah. it's
I
great.
always love that effect.
Yeah.
I love watching like reruns of shows on like USA. They'll do like the compacted credits. where
Yes,
it's like,
they squish
it's
them
like-
down.
They're like they pack it all into like 2 frames. It's
Yes.
just like boom.
Yes.
It's like bam.
I should
Yeah.
do that next year. Just
Bam.
Oh goodness!
look at that mid cheese.
Oh.
I don't think I could eat that right now.
No, me neither.
Too full. And then
Bye bye.
I'd
Scholastic.
like it.
See you later.
Give us money.